afternoon, everybody. My name is Foulk, and alongside me is my colleague Isaiah Hastings, and we're here on behalf of the Goodwill nonprofit organization. Some of you may be familiar with us. You may have seen our stores in your local communities, in particular here in Lawrence, Kansas, but we're here all around the country. And for those of you who may have seen our stores or be aware of what we do, you might notice that we offer donations such as clothing and just basic necessities. But we do a lot more than that. And we have different organizations and services that we can offer for people that are in need. And there's one lady in particular, her name is Cassandra Rawl. And she's a single mother of two who is down on her luck. And she didn't really have a path, but she utilized our services, such as our educational systems and our business system. And let's take a look at her story.
My name is Cassandra Rowe. I'm an admin assistant. I was homeless and I knew absolutely nobody in the state of North Carolina. I didn't have anyone to turn to assist me with anything.
She first came to us. She was homeless and had a small child. And, she enrolled in one of the programs, the banking and customer service program. We placed her over there and the rest is history.
This story is in keeping with what President and CEO of Goodwill, Jim Gibbons, has described as the three main goals Goodwill uses to measure its success: empowering individuals in the communities it serves, ensuring a self-sustaining community enterprise, and having a positive impact on the environment. Goodwill is only able to do these things, however, thanks to the generous financial contributions it receives.
We're asking you, the endowment board, to assist in donating a generous amount of $25,000 to the Goodwill and providing these services to people that are in need. There are about 4 main points that we want to cover today that will give you an overview of what we actually do as a nonprofit organization. And that's one is poverty is a significant and widespread issue in our society. And also, those living in poverty need guidance to get out of their situations. And this happens through educational programs and as well as programs that offer skills that you can use, that teach you skills that you can deliver into the workforce when you get into a new pathway. Donations to Goodwill to solve these issues can also have a great impact on the environment. And last but not least, this donation will benefit the people of the city of Lawrence, Kansas.
Poverty is a widespread issue that affects more than 1 in 10 people in the United States. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the poverty rate in 2015 was 13.5%. That's more than 40 million people in the United States, which is about 5 times the population of New York City, or more than 13 times the entire population of the state of Kansas. This is a major issue that affects a lot of people, and many of the people living in poverty do not have the resources they need to get out of their situations. According to the article Towards the End of Poverty, published in The Economist in 2015, 1.1 billion people worldwide live on less than $1.25 per day. In the United States, the poverty line is $63 per day for a family of 4. To provide a comparison, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income in 2015 was $56,500 per year, which amounts to about $155 per day.
People living in poverty in the United States live off of about 1/3 or less than the median American household, and just about 1 in 7 people in the worldwide live in 100th of the median American household income. Now, people struggle every day to survive just to have the basic necessities, stuff like running water, electricity, places just to have a sanitary place to use the restroom even. Now, things that we kind of take for granted, these people are struggling to get by with every day. And there's a great deal of financial needs in our communities. According to the Needs Assessment Survey conducted by the Goodwill in 2012, a significant portion of the Goodwill's target communities needs assistance finding things like housing, employment, and education. We all have been able to have the opportunity to gain a quality education here at KU or at other institutions around the country. And these people need to have of good education, which we can develop through our educational systems that can lead them into a better life.
People are unable to get out of poverty without help. In an interview, Sheila Gilbert, the national president of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul in Indianapolis, said, "Often there are circumstances in people's lives or in our broader society that keep them from getting out of poverty no matter how hard they might try. And when a person's experience tells them that their efforts will be fruitless, they often stop trying." And so charitable organizations need to approach assisting people with an attitude of, what can we provide so that these people will need our services less? And programs like Goodwill's can help this. According to the article, The Failure to Talk Frankly About Poverty, written by the New York Times editorial board, without programs directed at poverty like those that Goodwill provides, the poverty rate would be much higher than it currently is. So the things that Goodwill and other organizations like it that are doing do make a difference in solving this problem.
All right. Be aware of everybody wants to help out in some way or another, or at least I hope you do. And you have to be aware of where you're sending your donations to. Oftentimes we go around giving our money to people without really knowing the integrity of the charity, nonprofit organization. Sometimes we just take it from maybe a friend recommendation without really, analyzing it. And actually, according to the article, "The Way to Help the Poor" by Dean Carlin, a professor at Yale University, and an award winner in the Science Foundation Career Award winner, he mentions individuals spend about $335 billion every single year on charity. Yet most people do it on impulse or a friend's recommendation. Now, they don't know if they don't have any evidence whether these charities are good. Philanthropies also often give money to projects without really knowing if they're going to be successful or not. Now, donations to charities without solid reputations may end up having an even more negative effect on our society. So it's really good to keep and to do your homework on each and every one of them.
Goodwill uses the funds that it takes in well. According to the 2011 pamphlet about Goodwill Industries, Goodwill channels 84% of its total revenue into its programs for things like education and career services. That means that the majority of the revenue that Goodwill takes in goes directly to help communities, and the remaining 16% goes towards the critical functions that keeps Goodwill functioning as an organization and allowing it to continue to help communities. Moreover, as Goodwill operates as a business, it has the expertise and qualifications to use the money it takes in efficiently. According to a 2005 article written by Sarika Dani, director of NBC News' Today Digital, Goodwill operates as a business or a retailer in order to maximize the revenue that it can use to facilitate its programs that assist people living in poverty.
Goodwill also, they help people find jobs to improve their economic positions. Now, according to the Huffington Post article by Jim Gibbons, Goodwill places someone in a good job every 33 seconds of every single workday. Now, Goodwill also betters the lives of many people, and they do this through developing people's skills and bringing them into the workforce. And they find a sense of independence for themselves, and they can take care of their families in a better way. Also, according to the same according to Goodwill Industries in 2011, Goodwill served 2.4 million people served 2.4 million people through employment and training programs in 2010 alone. So this shows that Goodwill has a broad reach and can help people not just nationally, because this is also on an international scale as well.
As an added benefit, the work that Goodwill does also helps the environment. According to an article written for the Harvard Business Review by Jim Gibbons, Goodwill diverts 2 billion pounds of goods from landfills every year. This means that not only is Goodwill helping communities by helping people living in poverty, it's also having a positive impact on the environment.
All right, so you might be wondering, how are your donations going to be used? Now, to kind of sum it all up, we have 2 key purposes: help fund educational programs that we do here at Goodwill, and we actually do this free of charge, as well as helping people with the employment services, which is also free of charge. Now, donations like these, coupled with revenue from our Goodwill stores, as you see in our communities, we see everybody donating clothes or other goods. We also employ people, so it lets us provide more services.
So in review, poverty is a major problem that affects a lot of people across the United States, and people living in poverty lack the ability to improve their situation. Goodwill can help make a difference to this, and your donation will also benefit the Lawrence community directly.
People like Cassandra Rull, who really didn't have a path in life, oftentimes are stuck and don't know what to do. And with our services, she was able to be successful, not live paycheck to paycheck, not worry about her family and friends suffering. And so please donate $25,000 to the Goodwill, because you can do a lot of good for our society. Thank you guys.